Last week, OpenAI announced a new image generation model built into ChatGPT, and the internet went mad, recreating images in a Studio Ghibli style. Well, now it's been rolled out to the free version of ChatGPT, so you don't need a paid account to try it. And of course, me being a bit tight, I spend all my money on Google Gemini. So I decided I would give it a go. And of course, the first thing I did is a Studio Ghibli style image, as you can see. But of course, it's much more than that. And there are so many kind of use cases. This is a big turning point in image generation. I think this is the equivalent of when ChatGPT 3.5 kind of happened in terms of a leap forward, in my view. I mean, I'm a Midjourney user, but the ability that ChatGPT's image generator has of creating text and stuff like that is something really, really different. In addition to that, I did a video last week about Google Gemini's image generation, and the ability to change that image was a real game changer. Well, you can do that with this new image generation model in ChatGPT as well. So we're going to really explore the real possibilities of this new image generator in ChatGPT 4.0. So without further ado, let's crack on. So I'm going to be comparing it, of course, with Midjourney to see how good this new image generation model is and what the potential is. As I said, here we go. This was just an image, Ghibli style image of my partner and I in France last year, I think it was, or the year before. And I tell you what, I sent it to her. She thought it was super cute. And it is kind of super cute. But, you know, life's more than just creating things in the style of. But so here's one I'm creating in the style of spaghetti Western 1960s screen print using this image. And the interesting thing is here is that the dimensions, it's already, because I said a screen printed poster, a film poster, it's put it in the right proportions. So here is obviously horizontal, and here it's in a kind of portrait poster style. So it's already kind of understood the context of that. And I've given it the challenge of giving it a title, Lord Kenzal's Revenge. But what I really want to show you is I took this prompt from Midjourney. So here, when I was doing it with Midjourney, as you can see, I'd uploaded some images here of me and then man in the style of Spaghetti Western's 1960 screen printed poster. And it did a kind of okay job. Again, it's never brilliant at using me as a reference. But this was done, as I say, last year. And, you know, they're okay. As we look at here, look at this. You know, it's not too bad. It's got that kind of red ink style and sort of splash ink style artwork of a 1960s spaghetti Western poster. But let's see how ChatGPT does. Okay, so I've come across the first problem of trying to use the new ChatGPT image generation on the free level, because it is now being rolled out for free users. And that has caused server overloads over at OpenAI. So I'm back the next day because you also only have a limited number of image generations under the free service. So this video may take a little while because I'm not paying for ChatGPT yet. All my money goes to Google Gemini. Anyway, I finally got there. Here's my spaghetti Western poster that I wanted based on this image, as you can see. And the key thing here that I really want to demonstrate is the words. Yeah, it's managed to get it perfectly. Look at that, Lord Kenzal's Revenge. I'm even behind, you know, I love the way that the image is in front of the word revenge. It's all spelt correctly. Oh, it's like maybe a sort of a slight double apostrophe there up the top there, as you can see. But generally, apart from that, I mean, that's pretty good. It's not an exact copy of me, but it's not far off. I don't know. These AI image generators make me seem a bit older than my photograph. Is it me? I don't know. But I'm meant to be a grizzled spaghetti Western hero, a grizzled cowboy. I don't have any moisturizer in the Wild West. Yeah. But generally, that's very good. But I want to kind of really push the words here and also the actual large language model element. I want it to come up with its own kind of words and things like that. So on this prompt here, we put create a Victorian style show bill poster with a list of variety hall acts. Top of the bill is Lord Kenzal's Big Brain. Okay, so that's what we're going to go for. See what it can do on that one. Again, the challenge here is it has to come up with the Variety Hall Act. It has to understand the concept of a Victorian style showbill poster. It has to come up with the acts other than Lord Kensall's big brain. So normally a Victorian showbill has loads of Variety Hall acts. So it's more than just creating the image. It's actually having to use its large language model element. And that's the key thing. This is what makes it so powerful. And I would argue a threat to graphic designers and stuff. The great thing that saved graphic designers with all the other AI image generator models was that, creating words was always an issue. I mean, I created some amazing images with Midjourney, but when it comes to spelling, it was like, sometimes it got close, but it wasn't just, close, but no cigar. You know what I mean? It wasn't quite there. So this has really changed the game. Yes, you can create some amazing, Ghibli type images and stuff like I've shown you earlier, but it's really the ability to create words. And maybe I'll show you some examples that people have shared on the web and stuff, which have been kind of mind blowing. But anyway, let's see what it does with the Victorian style showbill poster. Just while we're waiting for that, here's an example of what I mean with Midjourney. So I've borrowed this. This is somebody else's prompt, but I borrowed it. They had like a Shanghai cat thing, and it was pretty close. But what I wanted here was Tokyo Cat. And as you can see, I specifically said here, a t-shirt logo in black and red, bold, energetic of a fat cat wearing sunglasses, oriental motif trim and text. And in the original prompt that the person had used, they'd put Shanghai Cat. I just changed it to Tokyo Cat. Contemporary, bold, and simple shapes. And this is Midjourney. And so as you can see, look, it's Toko Cat, not quite there. Tokiko, you see, it's never been quite good. Tokiot Cat. And you get some great Toko Cat. Yeah, I've definitely put Tokyo Cat. So as you can see, you get some great images, great interpretations of what it is you want from an image point of view, but it doesn't understand necessarily the context if you're wanting it to create specific language or words to be used on your image. And it's just not very good at spelling. Right, here we go. Let's go back. And as you can see, here we go. Look at this. So that was the challenge. Wow, that's quite good, actually, so far. Yes, brilliant. Okay, so it's really understood the challenge of the task. Remember, I've not given it a list of names other than Lord Kensall's big brain, who's live at the Victoria Hall, but it's had to come up with other examples. And look at this. So you've got Lord Kensall's big brain, of course, big brain. The astonishing Alberti, Madame Zenobia, Parisian sensation, laughter galore, Signor Zampelli with his marionettes, and Gordo, the great comic juggler. So, I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, Alberti, there's an extra I. Look, I don't know, this is a made-up name, but the astonishing, I mean, it's not perfectly set, but maybe that's in the spirit, like it's slightly over here. I'm being really fussy, but it's not lined up, but maybe that's, that kind of gives it a bit of authenticity. I mean, I could probably, let's see if we can get, make the poster appear older and more antique, creases, etc. Okay, let's see what it does with that. So now what we're doing is we're challenging it to make changes to the original image. But again, look, this has got no actual, well, I mean, it is an image, isn't it? But do you know what I mean? It is mostly text, and ChatGPT has handled that super well. But let's see if we can kind of age this up a bit because it's looking a bit fresh. Because one thing that I have noticed is it does take its time on the free level. But as I said, OpenAI, apparently they had nearly another million subscribers since they launched this new image generation tool. So not surprised. And even Sam Altman came out saying, look, man, the servers are just oversaturated, being used so much. Okay, that probably took about 2-3 minutes. But here we go. So we've kept it. Yeah, they've kept the original image. As you can see, here's the original. Variety, Lord Kensall's big brain, the astonishing Alberti, Madame Zenobia, Parisian sensation, laughter galore, a Signor Zampelli with his marionettes, and Gordo, the great juggler. All of that is kept. So, and look, it's got that kind of worn, coloured, aging, discoloured the creases, Variety Hall, Lord Kensall's Big Brain. Yeah, it's all there. So as you can see, very, very impressive overall. Not only can you create images, but you can then edit those images. The fact that you can create images with words and you can use the large language model because it's multimodal. Yeah, it's built into the large language model. It's not a separate image generation. So it can create the words necessary for the piece of graphic art that you're trying to create or whatever, which is really clever. And then it can actually deliver those words. So very, very impressive. Let's see if we can actually create a thumbnail for this video. I'm going to start a new chat just so it doesn't get confused, because sometimes if you continue with the same chat stuff. But I'm really impressed with that. It's really done a good job. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a transparency, see if it gets confused. Okay, so I've given it a transparency here. So we'll see whether that works. And then, so we want a YouTube thumbnail featuring the ChatGPT logo. The video is all about the new image generation ability of ChatGPT and how it's a game changer. Now, normally what I might do would be using, ChatGPT or Google Gemini to come up with YouTube thumbnail concepts and then take the concept, say create a prompt for that and then take that prompt and then put it in an image generator. But what I'm trying to do here is, because this is sort of multimodal, is do it all in one. I want it to come up, use the context of what I've written and come up with something suitable, but using my image. Let's see if it comes up with any words for it. Here we go. Okay, so here we go. So the first problem is it's created it square and it's also given me a fat face. Oi, right? But it's interesting because it's recreated my face. It doesn't actually just copy my face. It's recreated it. Now, look, to you, like, watching this, you're probably going, well, that's you, Clive. But I know my face better than you lot. Look, I've got a longer head. It's given me a wider face. I don't know. I look quite impressive like that. I guess if you don't know me that well, you probably think that's pretty spot on. And it's recreated my T-shirt underneath. Yeah, it's not exactly the same. But look at that. It's not bad, but it's square. That's the problem. This should be YouTube thumbnail size. So can we make, I like chat, 16 by 9. Okay. Let's see if it understands that. But that's really good. I mean, there we are. That's a thumbnail generated. To be honest, a lot better than I could do. I'm going to use this thumbnail. If it can get the 16 by 9, you'll know the answer to this because you've clicked on the video. But I mean, that is literally a game changer. But let's see if it can do a 16 by 9. It seems to have got the shape right there. I'm wondering whether I'm going to lose a bit of clarity. But that, I must admit, a new image generation. I want to know what the rest of it says. Okay, so yeah, look, there we go. New image generation, a game changer. And again, look, yeah, I've deformed slightly more. It's looking even less like me. But I think if I'd asked for 16 by 9, I'm going to recreate this and ask it to be 16 by 9. So let's do a new chat and see if we can improve it. Actually, before I do that, one thing I do want to share. I was trying to come up with some logo ideas. These are some prompts. I come up with 3 T-shirt logo ideas aimed at Gen Xers. So these were just prompts that I wanted. Actually, and this made with the old version of the image generation. So this was before the new image generation tool was available and free. So why don't we just take this and let's just try with this. Gen X inspired T-shirt logo. And a retro, I want a retro cassette, yeah. Audio cassette. Right, I'm going 80s audio cassette on this one. Let's see whether we can do that. Again, the thing on this one, I've got a tagline: be kind, rewind, relax. Let's see if it gets that. But also then it's got to understand the concept of an old audio cassette, whether it's a C90, C60 or whatever. If you are of a certain age, you'll know what I'm talking about. And if you're under 40, you're probably going, huh? but we're talking cassettes, baby. Apparently they're making a comeback. Unbelievable. I saw a video recently where this person was talking about how the Sony Walkman is coming back. And I'm thinking, really, that's just purely some retro vibe. Audio quality is no better, but maybe it just feels warmer and more authentic. It's not like vinyl. I get vinyl, but I don't know. Cassettes. Anyway, enough waffle. Let's see what the image is like. Okay, now you're probably wondering why my glasses have gone black. That's because this is taking so long. I've just popped down to the post office to post a letter and come back, and it's still, so my glasses have reacted to the sunlight, and it's still processing. So, you know, the servers are being absolutely flogged. But anyway, let's try something else. Please forgive the dark glasses. I'm not trying to be super cool. This is what happens when I walk out in the sunshine. I'm going to take some concepts that I tried again with Midjourney. And as you can see, I mean, it was pretty good with some of these in terms of getting the level 50. So my logo here for this, one of my channels is called Level 50 Lifestyle. It was pretty good at getting some of these, but again, not quite right. Look, level O, that like this, for instance, level 50. I mean, I like the idea, the image, it's quite cool, but yeah, the writing's not quite right. So I want to take these sort of things, see whether we can do something better. Look at these sort of, yeah, not quite right here. Level 50, a circular, you know, let's go with this anyway. Let's see if we can get ChatGPT going again. Create an image, concept. There we go. So I've just taken this original prompt that I was using, Midjourney. And again, the level 50 thing here is absolutely crucial. I keep seeing myself with the shades on. I can't take them off because I won't be able to see what I'm doing, but they will turn into normal glasses. Trust me. I'm very self-conscious. Let's see whether we have any more luck in terms of getting this one generated. Okay, so there we go. You've reached your limit, your image creation limit. So how many images was that? The spaghetti western poster, couple of others, maybe four or five images, a couple of changes. We had the YouTube thumbnail. So yeah, 4 or 5 changes, but there we are. Look at that. I love it. It's that funky 70s. So here we go. Vintage 70s feel, incorporating a stylized level 50 woodmark, subtle pictorial element. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, graphic designers beware is the key message here, I'd say. This really is a game changer. The ability to understand the context of the prompt from a large language model perspective and then actually spell, you know, that's the key thing. And you can create product ideas, you know, ad design ideas for, say, I don't know, come up with an idea for like a coffee, and it will come up with the kind of packaging and everything be spelt correct and all of that, just as a way of developing product concepts or graphic design concepts. Very, very good, because I could just spin this a few times. I mean, it might be worth paying for ChatGPT. I'm such a skinflint. It could well be worth it just to generate these kind of, you know, images and graphic design concepts, even if you don't use them in the end. Another day, another free use of ChatGPT image generation. And I've gone back here, this level 50. I quite like this. We're going to rate the image there. Yeah, I like it. But what we can do is let's make this a transparent sticker. Yeah. So we're going to make it a transparent sticker. See if that makes sense. We could just say, just make it a transparency, but we're going with the sticker. Okay, so there you go. You can see the kind of transparent things at the bottom. That's really cool. I like this. I'm going to download that. So there we are. We can use that as transparency. It's a sort of a sticker. I like that. Let's go back to what I was trying to do before. So I talked briefly about these ideas and concepts for level 50. Again, on Midjourney, and you could say, look, you know, level 550, level 50, not quite there on any of these. So I'm going to try this one because I quite like this sort of concrete urban one with the orange and grays. So let's specifically create an image. I'm selecting there because we're just going to put the concept in. So concept, a word mark based logo where level and 50 are placed on 2 lines with a graphic element separating and connecting them. Slightly distressed or textured font for vintage feel. All of that. I'm not going to read it all. Let's go. Okay, so it's done that. I don't know. I'm not sure. I prefer these sort of images here. A bit more gritty. It's got the distressed texture and the logo and fine. Yeah, not so good with that. But all the spelling is right. That's the key thing here. Let's go here. Circular badge. Let's try this one. Again, I'm specifically selecting create image. Let's go with that. See what we get with this. Okay, so there we go. Again, circular badge, image, level 50, a bit grainy, a blob of orange there. That's interesting. Not quite as creative as these, but again, the spelling's all correct. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I've drawn this amazing design here. Right, this is a thumbnail design. There's me, yeah. And then the ChatGPT logo and AI graphic designer there. Okay, so what we're going to do is see whether it can create a thumbnail from a really bad sketch. Okay, so there we are. We put in the sketch, we put in me, and I put a YouTube image based on my sketch featuring a person uploaded, making it very clickable and engaging. And if this works, this will be truly amazing. Again, it's got funny dimensions for YouTube. It's not quite 16:9, which is a little bit annoying. Just for reference, here's my amazing sketch. Never tell I went to art school. Didn't go to art school. And we're waiting. This is going to be another long one. I can feel it. But it might be worth it. Okay. Wow. Again, not 100% me. It's recreated me. But I mean, come on, people. This was the sketch. This was the sketch. This is the final output. I mean, that is pretty impressive. Yeah, I'm looking a bit dubious there. But, yeah, thumbnail. It's just all a bit, it just needs stretching out a bit. But other than that, that is pretty impressive. Anyway, let me know what you think. I mean, that is a powerful tool. You can just sketch out a YouTube concept on a bit of paper, stick your photo in it like this, and bish bash bosh. You know, nice background. I like the way it chooses this sort of blue background. Makes it stand out. Wow. That is impressive. That is a quick look at the new image generation from OpenAI, ChatGPT. It's multimodal. It's built into ChatGPT. So it's not DALL-E or anything like that. It's actually built into the large language model, which means it understands the context of what you're doing. It will come up with the words necessary once it's understood the context of your prompt. And you can also manipulate the image afterwards. And literally from scratch, you can create a thumbnail like this with all the right writing and everything. I mean, sack your graphic designer, which in my case is me. This is better than me at design, if I'm being brutally honest. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And if you've liked this video, then do me the great honor, please hit the likes, because I like it, YouTube likes it, and it helps people like you find content just like this. And if you're new to my channel, maybe you've watched a few videos already and you haven't done it yet, please hit that subscribe button, toggle that notification bell, and that way you'll know when I go live with videos just like this. And talking of videos just like this, why don't you check out these videos here? Yeah? These ones here, right here. I think you'll love them. You will definitely love them. Check them out. Thanks for watching.